everyone. Happy day 4 of our Coronacation series. Super excited to be here. My name is Melissa Mose, and I own Melissa Simply Sweet, as well as I'm a co-founder of Home Bakers United. And today I'm super excited because we're gonna, just to add a little more fun into your Corona situation, take you away from CNN, take you away from the kids for a minute, and let's do a little cake talk. So today we're going to talk about boxing different level cakes, and I know that a lot of people are really hot right now is the cookie kits. So we're going to assemble some do at home cookie kits and talk about how do we put cakes in boxes so that they're secure when we send them out to our customers. And I know I always hear from people, how do you make it secure? How do you know what size box to get? So here's what we're gonna do. So I have made you a lovely cake today, as you can see. It is gorgeous, it is gorgeous. It is just styrofoam because I said, it's a Coronacation, I'm not baking a cake. All right, so let's talk about it. So this is an 8-inch styrofoam cake, which would be mine would be a little bit taller, so it's kind of close, and it's on a 10-inch board. So number one rule, the way I follow it, is whatever my cake is, my board is 2 inches bigger. So if I have a 6-inch cake, I have an 8-inch board, an 8-inch cake, a 10-inch board. And if I'm gonna use a 10-inch board, then I'm gonna use a 10-inch box. So I am going to put a box together so that you can see, which of course you know how to put a box together, but we're going to just kind of put the cake in the box. And I get all of my boxes from BRP Box Shop. And as you can see, I decided to write exactly that on the box so that whoever comes at any time can see where I get the box and what the size is. So I always assemble 3 sides of my box so that you're not risking putting your cake in the box and touching icing. So I slide my cake in and I secure the box. It's very simple, it's not hard. Many of us have done it. This is what the tricky part comes to. So let's pretend that I can't close my lid. This is like the biggest question people ask me. Here is exactly how I do it, but hold on, I forgot my stapler. Here's exactly how I do it. So let's say my box, I can close it this far, right? That's the typical how I ship my boxes out. So here's how I do it. So if I'm gonna only be able to secure my box to here because my cake is this tall, I will staple each side of my cake box so that way it's held at the point where it wouldn't touch my cake. So you see, it can't go anywhere, it can't push down, it can't do that. Your cake is in here. Hello, oh, hi Brenda. All right, so now I always make sure that you're taking your cake outside in the elements, and you wanna make sure that it's not gonna get rained on, it's not gonna get dust on, it's going to be protected from everything. So I wrap the front in plastic. If I feel like it's a windy, breezy day, I will put a little tape on it just to hold my plastic wrap. So that's how I put together just your standard 1-tier, short-ish cake, but that you can't close the box. So now let's talk about the one that everyone wants to know. How do I make it work if I've got myself a small 2-tier box, a 2-tier cake, and I need it to go in the box, but I need it protected because a customer's picking it up. All right, so let's do that. And remember, it is a BRP Box Shop, a 10 by 10 by 6. I did move to the 10 by 10 by 6 just because most of my cakes really are about up to here, and it was kind of close. So it just gave like a little bit more protection. All right, so now we have our cake, which I'm only gonna do this because it's styrofoam, and then we're gonna put the top on it. So as you see, I can't really I can't do anything with it. So what I'm gonna have to do is, like, let's say it even went higher, I have to turn it into kind of like a box with like a 2-tier situation. So here comes the 2-tier. Here's what I do. I go like this. And I kind of usually use 2 boxes, and then I will create, so I will take another 10 by 10 box, and I will do like arts and crafts. So I will usually pick one side of it, and I will rip it in half. So it is fantastic arts and crafts. I do like the bottom side. And then I will fold my sides in, because remember, because it is a 10 by 10, it's the exact same size as your other box. I'm gonna staple each side so you can see, as I'm gonna staple it around. Please don't do this with your cake inside. Your whole like boob area will be covered in icing. But, so now it's secured, this one's secured. And then I will usually manage to staple and make like a floating staple just so this guy can stand up. And he's not paying attention today, but usually he stands up. Oh, here we go. So I will cross those over, and I will cross these corners over. And then I will wrap it in saran wrap. So now you've got your 2-tier cake inside, and you've got your boxes are secure all the way around. I will sometimes, like right here, I'll secure and do a piece of masking tape just so there's extra protection. Now let's say you can't bend it over. Like, we'll go through like every situation, like, oh my God, the cake is even bigger, you know? So, so now let's say the cake, you need it to stay up like this. Well now, again, more arts and crafts. So I will take just more pieces of my ripped box, and I will cut myself some strips. And the key is really, especially if you're delivering the cake or if you have a customer picking it up, you just want them to not have any sense of issue at all with the cake. And you want them to feel comfortable. And you yourself, let's say you're delivering this cake and you want to make sure that you put all your work into it, that this little beauty makes it. So, as you can see, the stapler is my very, very good friend. All right. So as you see now, the way that I added that support, my box is completely straight. So I technically, this cake could seriously come up higher, as high as it needs to come. But I'll do the other side for you. So I just cut another strip off, and then I just realized that I could cut these little like edges thingies off or whatever. And then I'll do it this way so you can see. So I'll just bend these flaps in. I secured it to the flap. And not only is it that you want the support of this stuff to support the cake, but you also want to have an avenue where you can put your, as you see, the cake's getting taller than me. Oh my God. As that you can get, make sure that your saran wrap, and I ran out of staples, that you can make sure that your saran wrap doesn't touch your cake, because that's the most important part. So since I'm not going to refill my staple, I'll just tape it. Okay, so as you see, cake is protected, and then you can go and you can cover the cake up. And you absolutely want to make sure like your cake is completely covered when you are delivering it. You know, you take it out of the car and you get wind or whatever, you don't want something to get stuck in your icing. You have put so much time and work into this beauty. You want to make sure that she is perfect for your customer and perfect on delivery. You see? You can see through her. You can put it in, if you had room in your fridge, you could put it in your fridge just like that. It's totally easy. And all it did is, yes, it did. If you did a 2-tier cake, it took 2 boxes. It is what it is. You can save your other couple of pieces that if you need like another cake going out. But you know what? And sometimes you just have to put a little bit more extra product and love into your packaging because you've put so much work into your cake. And if you did all this great work and then your cake box falls apart, the cake is worthless. So sometimes it absolutely does pay to put the money into packaging and to get a good box, especially if you're gonna do a cake that has a lot of weight to it. Again, you don't want the box to collapse. And sometimes like the thinner boxes, they're not as secure. So I would definitely make sure you know what size your cake is, you know what weight your cake is, that when you go to get your box and your packaging, you are A-okay. So if anyone has any questions, definitely write them here. I see I have a bunch of people, but if you have more questions about it, I'm always happy to answer. BRP has tons of boxes. There are many places to go to, and it's just who I use, and I kind of fell in love with them. It's really quick shipping, it's easy shipping, and it just works well for me. I definitely try to stock certain size boxes that I use the most common. A 10-inch and an 8-inch are probably my most common boxes. Of course, they go up in every size. I personally like the boxes that are, when you get to the bigger size box, I like the white, because especially when you get to those like half sheet cake boxes, I have found with the brown ones, they're really flimsy, and somehow with the white, there's this extra coating on it and it gives it more stability. I don't know, that is just what I found. So hopefully you guys will find your packaging that works well for you, and your cakes will be beautiful on delivery, just as you had hoped, and you will love it. Okay, let's talk cookies now, because I do love to talk about cookies. So with the Coronacation, I know that so many people are out there selling cookie kits. It's definitely a great thing to do. It's totally your preference on if you're comfortable doing that or not, just based on where you're located and what your situation is. And of course, you know, if you're healthy and all of that. I was going to sell them, and I actually had them loaded, and then I didn't feel 100% and my daughter didn't. And so I just felt like it was in my best interest to completely shut it down. So I hope to be back up and running, because I'm very lonely without my cookies or anything. So I'm going to, as I struggle to plug my heat sealer in. Okay, let's talk cookies. So everybody does sprinkles. You've got a sprinkle kit. And then you have all your different cookies. You have your different boxes. My box that I use is the BRP Box Shop. I like this one. It's a 10 by 10 by 2.5. Again, here's the deal. We're in the middle of a little pandemic. It's a little bit more than a little one, but it's a big one. So my biggest thing is this: see what you got on your shelf. Don't go out and order new supplies. Make stuff work. If you got smaller boxes or bigger boxes, figure it out. Use your supplies that you have, even when you're not in a pandemic. Use what you got, and don't put more money into buying all these different shapes and sizes. Use them up. That's what I do. So I did not get into like a lot of pre-sales until recently. So I didn't buy all those cute little cookie boxes, and I just said, you know what? Forget it. I'm gonna use what I have. All right, come over here, everybody. Let's go to this whole cookie situation. So I went and I made samples, and my plan was to sell 6 cookies with 4 different icing bags and 2 sprinkle bags for $15. That's just what I kind of figured would be great in my area, and what really I kind of liked. You, depending on your area, the amount of cookies you want to give, the amount of icing, the amount of sprinkles, the amount of everything, you can decide what works best for you. Hey, Danisha, and go from there. So I did a couple different designs. So I decided to do like your unicorn design. I don't really try to call them girl, boy, or whatever. I just kind of decided what it was. So here was like a unicorn, and my thing was, again, gonna be 6 cookies. So I can really only show you, because I only just did like a little sample set for photos. Again, that's what I recommend. Don't sit down and bake off everything. Wait and see what you get. You know, if you're gonna do 6 cookies, make them duplicates, because most houses have more than one child in it. They're each gonna fight and say, I want the unicorn. No, I want the star. So if you only have one of each, everyone's gonna flip. Okay, so I did a unicorn, and then I did, which I thought was super cute, I did a beach theme. I mean, seriously, like how cute are these? A beach theme. And then I did transportation. Okay, like seriously, how much, I mean, they're a train, a car, and a helicopter. So in this one, it would have been just 2 of each shape. And then I did ice cream. All right, so you get the gist that there's all sorts of themes you can do. I did throw okay, I'll throw them all to you. I did throw an under the sea. So you have the whale, and you have a fish, and an octopus, and a little seahorse, and a little dolphin. And then I threw in Easter, because I said, you know what, people are gonna want to do Easter, so I have the cute little Easter headband, and I have an egg, and a little bunny profile. And then I thought, I just couldn't resist these little mini eggs. They're like the cutest thing ever. Okay, so let's talk about how we kind of put the whole thing together. I think it's best. I'm not one, again, like I told you, I don't have like shred in the house, like the paper shred to make it all cute. I only have, Megan, I knew you would love my shirt. I only have what I have, so I make it work, right? So I have cookie bags, and I will move the camera so you can see, and I will heat seal each cookie. So this way, when they go to open up their box, you know, if they don't want to decorate everything today, they do not have to. The heat sealer I literally got from Amazon. It's $19.95. You can kind of find them everywhere, and heat sealed, okay? So I'll show you again. This is a cute little farm. Look, I mean, seriously, look how cute this little tractor is. The tractor, I honestly, hey Kelly, I love the tractor. So let me fix my temperature here. Okay, a heat sealer is pretty awesome. Like you plug it in and this puppy is like ready to go. Heat sealer is a lifesaver. For my cookies, I don't actually do a lot with heat sealing. I'm a huge ribbon lover. So most of my cookies are with ribbon. But as you can see, it makes a lovely little heat seal. I pre-label all my cookies. So in my state, I am licensed and insured and inspected. So in my state, if I am going to resale my cookies, I have little, which you can't see unless it has a cookie on it because they're clear. I have the bags that has all the ingredients on it. And it says everything. It's like the required label. Now, in the state of Virginia, I only have to have this label if I was doing straight resale, which means I was gonna sell it to a coffee shop and then they were gonna sell it. Or I was gonna sell it to King's Dominion and then they were gonna sell it to another customer. But in Virginia, if I am gonna direct sale, like you are gonna come in for your family and order a cake or cookies, I do not actually have to put this label on it. That's just my state rules. So I have this label, which is just my logo. And yes, so that's what I put on it. But I do make all of my cookies. Actually, I provide everything in the kitchen. It has the ability to be nut-free because my son is allergic to all nuts on contact. So I do understand that game. And take it pretty seriously. And so it was really important to me to switch to Jeannie's meringue powder because it was 100% nut-free. I used to use like a Henry & Henry, but then they went out of business. And then CK was never nut-free and I loved it, but my kid couldn't eat it. And so I went over to Jeannie and take all the worry away. Okay, so I will go and I will heat seal this little cow. No, this is a pig. I can't remember what size these bags are. I actually purchased my bags from Uline. I know BRP sells them and a ton of others. I just buy them in like 10,000 increments. So It's like a lot. Okay, so you'll have your cookies and they'll be bagged, right? And then you wanna make your sprinkles, which I think this is like the cutest thing. So I have all these like little sprinkle bags. But let's make a couple of them together. Like seriously, to die for, how adorable are these? Okay, come on, and look at this Easter one. I mean, seriously, adorable. All right, let's talk about the bags. So to make your little sprinkle bag, which let me lift you up here so that you can, so I don't have to like bend. Okay, I don't even know where I got these, but these were some like long pretzel bags. Again, you can take any bag. And here's what I did. I think other people have done this, but I want you to know that when I did do it, I thought it was creative as hell. And I was like, oh my God, I am an absolute genius. So I cut my bag into just little sizes. And then I went, so this is just bag. I went and I heat seal one edge. Because again, this is, if you're gonna do this now, this is kind of like, you know, we're MacGyvering it. Like, you know, I hope people are old enough to know that. But we're gonna, and so you heat seal the bottom. We gotta make it work with the products we got, you know? And that's the other part of making more money with what you're doing, is not spending, trying to stock your business with everything. It's really kind of figuring out how to reuse. So I fill it up with some sprinkles. Brenda, you're a genius too. I thought that it was other people also doing this, but I really thought it was like the smartest thing ever. Hey Sylvia, how are you doing in Canada? My Canadians. Okay, look, seriously, come on now. It's like genius. All right, let's do another one. Of course, the bottom of it, you don't have to. So then let's say you don't have this bag, like this long, cute little thing. So let's say you only have, like you're like, I only have my cookie bags. We can make that work. I mean, seriously, come on now. All right. Okay, so ta-da. All right, now, let's say you're like, this is all I have. We're gonna come work with this. Okay, oh, I know. Sylvia like got so lucky. She was able to manage to get to Jamaica after CookieCon and then got home and is in quarantine. But you know what? You went to Jamaica, so I'm not feeling it so bad for you. All right, so I cut it in across, as you saw, and then I'm gonna cut it up the middle. Ta-da. Okay, so then, of course, you really have a bag that opens up like this. So now we have to heat seal everything. Well, we'll heat seal two sides. And then we'll heat seal this side. And look how cute this is. I only didn't go down the middle, Brenda, because my sticker was there. That was really the only reason. But I also wanted you to see that you can make anything work. See? Made your own bag. And then the other thing is that if you have little, you know, like the little containers, the little 2-ounce little containers. I mean, you can do your sprinkles in that too. So you can really kind of do anything. But see, you can make anything work. Heat sealer is your best friend. You have to MacGyver as much as you can. Okay, let's put our cookie box together. All right, so here's what you have. And then I have like icing. So here's the deal. You're going to have people do cookies who've never done cookies before. You definitely do not want them calling you up and being like, Melissa, girl, I love your stuff, but my kids want to kill each other because their icing is going everywhere. So I definitely tend to make their icing a little bit on the thicker, not really a flood. It's kind of what I would outline with. So basically, like I said in the past, where when I mix my icing like straight from the mixer, and then I put it in, and I take it out and I put it in a bowl, I will add enough water that when I shake my bowl, it will level out. So it's still pretty thick, but if you were a kid or someone who really doesn't know what they're doing, the frustration level is lowered because your icing is not literally a 6-second flood that is going everywhere. And then they don't have to worry about, oh, is this the piping outline bag? or is this my flood bag? You can just send your colors. It's all the same consistency, and then the kids can do whatever they want with it. You can totally do like a buttercream icing also if you wanted to in like the 2-ounce little cups. I don't know why I can't think of the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about, those little cups. And you could send it with popsicle sticks. And if the kids are really little, they would enjoy it even better because they can just paint it onto the cookie. So that's like another way to do it. All right. So in the box, again, that's what this is just the 10 ounce, the 10 by 10. I would put, let's pretend that we have 6 cookies. So I would put my 6 cookies in here. And I would put, this is a cow and a pig and this, and then a tractor. So I would give them 4 icing colors so I can make sure they see that. And then I would give them 2 packages of sprinkles. Now, remember, I should have 6 cookies in here. So it would take up a whole lot more room having the 6 cookies. And then I would close it. And I would say, ta-da. And then they can play and have a good time. And so it's super fun. Condiment cups, that's it, Tanisha. Condiment cups. It's all about condiment cups. Yes, so that is definitely, I think that is like super fun. The other thing that I was going to do, which I would totally, I think I said it on my live the last time, is I was going to, do I recommend a particular brand of piping bags? Me personally, I used TMP's Truly Mad Plastics. I love them. Flower Box is great. Sinful Cutters is great. Grunderfully Delicious is great. I think the only ones that I walk away from is the Masters on eBay and on Amazon. They definitely have a tendency to be an inconsistency. So some batches are awesome, and then you're like, man, I'm jamming, like this piping bag is the shit. And then you're like, oh, it burst. And so I kind of stopped buying them, and I really stick with the TMPs. It's just a comfort level. TMP is, it has a texture. Here's a bag. It has a texture to it, as you can see, and I like that. Sinful Cutters are awesome, and it is more of a thicker plastic, like a Wilton bag. So that's totally a way to go also. I have no idea what I was going to say before. But anyways, the last thing I was gonna say, I think it would be an awesome idea is to make cookie dough and to send it home with them. So I would totally look into that if you guys are still up and selling. I hope everyone is staying healthy and staying safe. And as always, if you have any questions about anything I went over, because it's always speedy in a 30-minute live, but if you have any questions, always reach out anytime. I'm always here. Christy's is always here. Christy's on tomorrow for night 5, and then I'll be back the next day. And I hope that you guys are staying safe, happy baking, play in your kitchens, try new things, and more than anything, have fun with your families. Love you. See you guys soon.